The show I picked is a show called Documentary Now. Are you familiar with this?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you seen it, or are
I've
you just
seen
familiar?
like most of the first season.
Okay. All right.
Like the old ladies living in
Yes.
the weird house. And then there's the Iceland the
Yes.
festival in Iceland or Greenland or something like that.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Very funny.
So for any listener who doesn't know Documentary Now, it was created by Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, and Seth Meyers. And if you couldn't guess already, Fred Armisen and Bill Hader, I'm massive fans of. I love Portlandia. I mean, going back to sketch comedy.
They are very funny.
That would have been a good one for me to point out for modern sketch comedy.
Yes.
But anyway, they created the show.
Wait, what is Seth Meyers?
He's good.
I think that he's the weak link in that group.
His strength is writing, which is what he contributes to the show, and he does that very well.
He's very smug, and he does not know how to make a joke about himself.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy watching clips of his show on YouTube. I've never stayed up late enough to actually watch the show, but I if he's got an interesting guest, I'll watch him. He has a writer in a show named Amber Ruffin. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
That name's very familiar.
She is hilarious, and so anything that she's involved in that's Seth Meyers' show, I'll watch that too. But anyway, back to Documentary Now. The premise is we are going to spoof real documentaries with fake documentaries. And to me, that concept, when it hit my brain, I was just like, that is instantly hilarious. I love it. I love that it's so niche. And I love the fact that it works on multiple levels. If you've seen the documentary that they're making fun of, that part is hilarious. But then the comedy that they've written into their fake documentary is also absolutely hilarious. And I'm a huge, huge fan of comedy that the way I phrase it is the comedy is so on point. Like it just bullseyes what it's trying to either communicate or make fun of or whatever. And I think Documentary Now is a prime example of that. And then I wanted to drill that down into one specific episode to further kind of explain why I think it's funny. And that episode is the Blue Jean Committee, Gentle and Soft, which is a fake band that they made up. And the documentary that they're spoofing is the history of the Eagles. Hot take, I hate the Eagles.
Yes, not a great band.
And so the fact that they're making fun of the Eagles, that I'm thumbs up there, I'm ready for this. But then, I mean, for crying out loud, Fred Armisen wrote like 6 or 7 songs for this episode, and it's all in that specific 1960s like California rock genre. They're brilliant songs. They made a vinyl record like of the Blue Jean Committee that they talk about in the documentary. There was a time where you could buy that record and it had the cover on it in the show.
Wow.
I desperately wish I could have got one at the time. Now they're hundreds of dollars on eBay and I'll never have one. But the band has played live outside of the documentary. They're just like Fred Armisen and Bill Hader hanging out, and they're like, hey, let's go do a Blue Jean Committee show. The way they're so committed to this is just absolutely amazing to me. And the last thing I'll say about this show is specifically that episode, they put all the songs on YouTube, and a lot of them were with the fake video that they shot that they only use clips of in the documentary, but they put the whole video out on YouTube. And I love the audience for this show as well, because if you go to one of those videos and you look at the comments are in character. Like people are like, my mom and dad met to this song and they dated, they got married, and this was the song they played at their wedding, and it's why I'm here today, and man, I love the Blue Jean Committee, and everything that surrounds Documentary Now, the fact that Helen Mirren hosts it and she comes out and she's like, welcome to season 50 of Documentary Now. It's flawlessly executed.
And the first time I saw that, I was like, I missed something. And I realized it was just such a well done joke that they created a universe to support it. And very funny.
So I love that it's so on point. That's my example of a show and why that show is funny.
Well, is it still going?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, with Barry, Bill Hader has kind of stepped away from it. He's not in many, or maybe even any of season 3. But Fred Armisen is still there, and Seth Meyers is still writing. And they're bringing in a lot of other people, like John Mulaney, who I'm also a huge fan
very,
of.
very funny guy.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of spots on it, and a lot of other comedians, a lot of ex-SNL people that you would recognize are coming
Will
into the
Forte,
show.
he seems to be right in there with those guys.
I don't know if he's done one. He'd be fantastic.
He would be. He's very funny.
But in season 3, like Kate Blanchett approached them, and she's like, "Can I do a documentary on?" and rattle off some documentary, and they're like, "Sure, Kate Blanchett, of course you can."
Yeah.
And so she came on and did a whole episode.
Oh wow.
So it's phenomenal. I love it.